in regards to animals. And as so many of you know, where there are animals, there are people who love them. And so a lot of what we do here is, of course, animal care, but also is really helping and supporting the people who love them within the community. So I want to just give you a little bit of an overview of our organization, but also share with you some of the resources that we have that may be helpful to you and some of the clients that you work with. So just to start, a little bit about us. We were established back in 1896. We've been here for quite a while. And really, our overall mission is short and sweet. It is to support the loving, responsible care of all animals in our community. And we work with all different types of animals, which I'll tell you a little bit about in just a moment, too. So again, we were founded in 1896, and what's really interesting is at that point in time, as you can imagine, we worked primarily with horses as well as livestock, because those were the animals that were really utilized by people for different things. But one thing that's also interesting is at that point, our Humane Society, along with many throughout the country, also worked for the welfare of children. And that went on until probably the mid 1930s or so, and just kind of transitioned over to primarily working with domestic animals, farm animals, and wildlife. So it's kind of a cool history. We just did a deep dive into our history last year for our 125th anniversary, and we were really surprised and happy to see how much we were involved with just human welfare over the years in different aspects. We've worked with wildlife for over 50 years, so pretty much any animal within our area has been to us. And as you all know, where there are wildlife, there are often human-animal conflicts happening. So we work a lot to help mitigate those and to help make sure everyone is able to coexist peacefully. We do have a brand new shelter. If you are not have not been to see us, we're really fortunate that our new shelter was opened in 2009. And it's one of the state-of-the-art facilities throughout the country. And so if you haven't been to see us, we would love to have you come in and say hi and see what the facility is like and just get to know us a little bit better. We are, of course, a 501c3 charitable organization. We are not affiliated with any other humane society. Every humane society really is a private, independent organization. So our organization is Humane Society of Huron Valley. We are not in any way, shape, or form connected with Michigan Humane Society or the ASPCA or Humane Society of the United States or other organizations that you may have heard of. We have a second location, too, that I wanted to make sure you all knew about, which is our Tiny Lions Lounge and Adoption Center. And if you are a cat lover, I highly recommend you checking this out. We opened this space to house cats because at our main building, we just had so many cats and literally we're full. And so this provides us another great space to house cats and do adoptions out of. But it's also been really wonderful because it's also a space for families and anyone who is a cat lover to just come and spend time with cats. You all know, I'm sure, that cats are a good source of therapy for those who love them and are comfortable around them. And so this space has really opened that up for people who maybe can't have them in their home for one reason or another. We also have fun programs. If you're a cat lover and you like yoga, we have yoga with cats, currently kittens at the moment. So that's kind of a fun class to take. We have trivia nights. We have kids' birthday parties, all sorts of fun things that are going on there as well, too. So come visit us there if you haven't yet. Our service area is really within Washtenaw County, and what that means is we are the stray hold facility for the county. So any animal that is lost and animal control may be fines or perhaps citizen fines, that animal is going to come to us if it's within Washtenaw County. We also have that same service happening within Plymouth and Northville as well, too. So we have a little bit of service outside of the county. Adoptions wise, we're servicing people from all over. We have people coming, of course, from all over Southeast Michigan to adopt, do our classes, things like that. But also we've had some nationwide adoptions, people coming. We actually had one all the way from Seattle, drive all the way here for a specific dog. And then as far as our services that kind of expand beyond adoptions, such as community outreach, humane education, taking in animals from families who maybe need support, we expand that as much as we're able to, but primarily serve Southeast Michigan. But certainly Washtenaw County is our top priority at the moment. So the animals that we're having come into the shelter come to us through 4 main ways. As you can imagine, a lot of families have to make the tough choice to surrender their animals, and that's a pretty common way that we're getting animals in. Surrendering can be anything from somebody maybe has a small child in the home that's not a good fit anymore with the animal. It could be someone has a sudden financial hardship. It could be all sorts of things. And so that's a pretty common way that we're getting animals in. We also have stray animals around the county and the areas that come in that are found by people. As you know, that can sometimes bring up some conflicts as well with neighbors and the community in general. So we do focus a lot on helping with our stray animals as well too. We do also have seized animals that come in, and these are animals who are brought to us by a person in uniform. So it could very well be an animal control officer. It could very well be one of our cruelty investigators that is going into a home and removing animals. And as you all know, oftentimes where there is animal neglect or cruelty going on, there is often some sort of cruelty, violence, or neglect going on with the humans that live in the home as well too. So in those situations, we partner quite a bit with the police department and other social service agencies to ensure that when we're going into a home for an animal, that we are making sure the humans in there are cared for as well too. And then of course we have animals who come in that are transferred from other shelters that maybe don't have the resources we have and can arrive here safely to be adopted.
Hey, Karen.
Yes.
Hi, do you mind advancing the slides for us? I think we're having some trouble.
Oh gosh, mine are advancing. Yours are not?
No.
We're not able to see them.
I'm so sorry, you guys.
That's okay.
Okay, hang on. Let me see. I am not sure why that is happening. I'm going to stop sharing and then try again. Thank you for jumping in. I would have just kept on going. I'm also not familiar with Google Teams either, so.
It started moving again. So what might be happening is you might be putting it into presentation view and then it's going to a different output. So if you have like a second screen or something like that, it could be jumping over to a different screen.
Okay. Can you all see this slide that says just some of what we do?
Yeah.
I can.
Okay. I'm wondering if I'll just keep it in this mode. If I advance it, can you see that there?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm just going to stay in this mode. I know it's not beautiful, but at least you guys can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we'll also provide all the slides in a PDF copy later today and the recording on YouTube. So don't worry about no notes needed. We'll just move on. Thank you guys for your patience.
Sorry about that. I'm not sure what was going on, but okay, just to kind of continue. So I kind of left off just getting ready to talk about some of what we do here beyond our traditional adoption program. So we do have a full service cruelty and rescue department, which includes field rescue officers who can go out for sick or injured animals that people may find. Of course, we have veterinary care. We have behavior support here for, dog training, or any kind of behavioral needs that animals may be having. We have a community cat group here who works with cats who are feral and live out in the community. And then, of course, we have lots of great volunteer opportunities. So if any of you are ever interested, or if you have any clients who are interested in volunteering with us, we would love to have you all join us. Okay, so I'm going to get into a few specifics about some of the programs that may be more relevant to the work that you all do. And of course, let me know if you have any additional questions when we're done. So one of the programs I wanted to be sure to highlight is our Safe Harbor program. This program has been around for quite a while, and it's really designed to help families that may be in emergency housing situations and are really facing the decision of whether or not they're able to take their beloved pets with them. This could be, of course, as you all know, domestic violence situations. It could be from a fire or natural disaster. Sometimes even, especially with COVID, we saw an uptick in people who are having personal medical emergencies where, they're going to the hospital, they're unexpectedly admitted to the hospital. And as I'm sure you're all aware, there's so many people who refuse medical services because they need to get home to their animals. And we actually have been talking with U of M quite a bit about this, who's doing some research. So that is certainly something else we can help with too. So this program really is designed for short-term care with some flexibility, of course. We find that most of the time when people are bringing in their animals, they're typically needing care from anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 weeks. Beyond that, what we find is a lot of times people end up surrendering their pets. And so what's nice about this program is it can be kind of a last minute thing. It can be, somebody needs care suddenly and unexpectedly, or it can also be if someone is planning to need care in the near future. We say that sometimes with domestic violence situations where families want to ensure that they have somewhere for their animals to go prior to making decisions about new housing arrangements for themselves. This is the hard part of this is it sometimes is limited as far as space goes. Our main priority is to service the animals in the community that are coming in as stray and surrender. So it's not often, but there are certainly times throughout the year where we may not be able to take in a safe harbor animal. But we always do our best to try to take every animal in that needs our help. So it's certainly worthwhile to give us a call and or have a client give us a call or come on up to see what we can do to help them out. Another program I wanted to highlight is our low-cost veterinary care. One thing that's really good to know is for families who may be in financial hardship is we have low-cost vaccine clinics that are held monthly, and that's just a great way for them to ensure their animals can get a quick health check, get their vaccinations. We also have mobile veterinary care. We have a lot of families, of course, who do not have transportation or just don't have the means to get up here physically. And so we have a mobile veterinary team that goes out and can work with the animals in their home. As far as financial barriers go, we do work with Care Credit, which is a way to help fund some of the programs. And then we, of course, have a lot of resources, you can say, to help families who may really need help with their animals but cannot afford that care. So it's always worthwhile for somebody to call us if they need help with their animal in regards to veterinary care, and we will do our absolute best to try to work with them and make sure that their animals are getting the care that they need. Another piece I wanted to mention is our Bountiful Bowls program. And this program is, again, another long-standing program that we have where we're supplying pet food assistance to families who may face a sudden financial hardship or, a lot of times it's families who they take on too much with animals and they need some support temporarily. But it's really designed to supplement an animal's food supply. So they come once a month and we literally, as you can see in that photo, we literally load their truck up with dog food, cat food, whatever it is that they need. Sometimes we have litter available. We get lots of things donated to us that we can't use here. So they may get brand new dog beds, they may get toys, kind of whatever we have that we're not utilizing that's in good condition or is very gently used. We will be able to send those off with our Bountiful Bowls folks. And this is a program that has a pretty easy application. I'll give you all the contact information towards the end there, but we have a Bountiful Bowls coordinator that works with clients who are in this program and can help people get started pretty easily with this and receiving support. And then another program too that's really great and pretty unique to the Southeast Michigan area is our Pet Loss Grief Support Program. It's really designed for ages 18 and older. However, I will say we have had some younger people attend with an adult, and we also have some flexibility to do youth work as well too. So that's important to note. But these are held monthly. They're on Sunday afternoons. We offer them right now both virtual and in person. And they are led by a wonderful person, which some of you may know, Colleen O'Brien. She is the owner of Blue Dog Counseling, but she does a lot of work throughout the community, and she was with Ozone House for years, but she's lovely. And so she facilitates our programs, and these are all free. We, of course, welcome donations to support the program, but it's not there. There's no fee. We don't want it to be a barrier for anybody to attend. So that's another great thing. And, you know, some people who come to this, they join us every single month. We have some people, you know, who come just preemptively because they're anticipating the loss of a pet, or some people who, you know, have just experienced that. So we welcome everybody to that group. And then one more I wanted to touch on briefly before I open it up for some questions. Our humane education programs are a big part of what we do here. And we have a lot of programs for youth ages 2 all the way through 18. Programs like summer camps, we have youth volunteering, we have some great literacy programs. We do a lot of work off-site as well too. We go to, like we have some great programs at Ypsi Community Center. We work with the Juvenile Detention Center. You know, we work with CAN, so lots of different organizations, and we're always looking to connect with more groups. So if you have any groups in mind, or if you yourself would love to have us out, we can do presentations pretty much on any animal welfare topic. We usually bring animals with us, and we've done some throughout, you know, different organizations where maybe we come once. We have some groups where we go once a month. We have some groups where we go weekly. So it really just depends on what is a good fit for the organization or a partner group that we're working with. And I did want to mention too, for our camps and our youth volunteer programs and some of our other youth programs, we do have full scholarships available. We've made them as easy as possible to obtain. We do not require financial information. We just really require an online form to be filled out and submitted. And that can be done by a parent or guardian, but also a teacher, a social worker, anybody that really feels there's a child that would benefit from coming to some of our programs, or, you know, is just a big animal lover and just wants to find other ways to nurture that passion that they have inside of them. Okay, so the last slide here, which I know you will all have, is contact information that you can share with anybody who is in need to reach us in regards to these different programs. This information is all on our website as well too, which is hshv.org. That's a great way to get in touch with us, learn more, and also, you know, maybe even explore a couple of other programs that we may have too. So with that, I will, of course, open it up for any questions you guys may have for me. And thank you for your patience with the slides.
Thank you, Karen. I do see Emily in the chat is asking if you have a flyer that they could distribute in their food bags for their food program.
Yeah, thank you so much. We are actually working on a resource flyer right now. We have a couple other groups who've requested the same thing. So that's something I could definitely share with, probably with the listserv be the best way to share that.
Yes, that would be a great way to share that, Karen.
Okay,
I
great.
do see that Cheryl also has her hand up.
Okay, great.
I was just asking a question, if you do, like, for your clinic part, do they have a part where they can cut the dog's toenails?
Oh, yeah. Yep, they can do nail trims at the clinic. Absolutely.
Okay. And for your mobile, does your mobile come out and do it?
Yeah, they can do that as well too. The mobile clinic has a pretty big variety of services they can offer, and nail trimming is one of them. I know those are hard to do.
So you just call that and yes, because I tried to do my dog and he's not having it. So,
oh, yep.
but he needs his nails clipped.
Oh, yeah, give us a call. We also have some resources online too, underneath Get Help at the menu at the top, that has some great tips and tricks for doing those kind of things too, which may be helpful.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, this is Alyssa over at CMH. I just have a couple questions about the Safe Harbor program.
Yeah.
So are the animals that are taken into the Safe Harbor program, are they all kept at the shelter, or do fosters ever assist and have the animals in their home?
It really depends on the specific animal and how they're doing at the shelter. A lot of times we will try to find foster for them. It also depends on how long we anticipate having them. If it's going to be a little bit longer term, we usually try to find foster for them. But yeah, a lot of it just depends on how they're doing and, their comfort level being in the building.
Okay. And between contacting the line for the Safe Harbor and when an animal is actually, brought in and intake, is that usually a pretty quick process? Does it depend? Can you expect like 24, 48-hour turnaround sort of thing?
Yeah, they can be very quick if they need to. We always appreciate advance notice. And sometimes we can get that, like a 2-week notice or, even a 24-hour notice. But if it's an emergency situation, which many of them are, then certainly just give us a call and we can do a pretty quick turnaround. Absolutely.
Okay. And one last question. Is it restricted at all by like species? Like, most stuff is dogs or cats, but I don't know if there's any, if you're able to help if somebody has a ferret or a snake, something like that.
Yeah, nope, there shouldn't be any breed restrictions or any kind of species restrictions at all.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Karen Field, if you're speaking, couldn't hear you. Oh, you're muted. I wasn't sure if you're trying to ask a question.
Go ahead, Dawn.
I wanted to ask, do you guys do anything as far as like, trying to think of what it's called. I've heard of programs before where it's for mental health, having like pets for mental health.
Yeah, like a support animal
Yes.
or service
Yeah.
animal. Yeah, we have had some adoptions where people have adopted specific animals for those purposes, but we as an organization don't actively do any training or anything related to that.
Okay, but you do service people if they come in and they're looking for that?
Yeah, and I'm assuming you mean in regards to like veterinary services or things like that with their own animals. Is that right? Am I understanding correctly?
Oh, I mean, if somebody came in and was looking for an emotional support animal, would you guys be able to help them?
Yeah, I think in that kind of a situation, I mean, we will help anybody who's looking to adopt, of course. And I think that's a time where we would really get to know the client and what they're interested in animal wise and what's going to be a good fit. But yeah, we certainly can help with those things.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I see a hand up from Renee. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I work at the Center for Independent Living. I also have a service dog. So just to respond to that question, if there are community members who have questions about obtaining a service dog, please refer them to us. We have a number of folks who have service dogs for a variety of disabilities. And I just wanted to caution that an emotional support animal is not the same as a service dog. So they're two different things, and just keep that in mind. And we're happy to educate people about what the differences are.
Yeah, Renee, I'm
Renee.
familiar actually with both of them, but I just couldn't remember the name of it. What did you say you're with?
Center for Independent Living, and the number
Okay.
is 971-0277. And I'm happy to talk with any community members about service dogs. And we can refer them to any organizations that train those animals for various types of disabilities. So I'm happy to talk with anyone who is interested in training with one.
Okay, thank you.
It might be a good time to mention too, a lot of times we have calls about therapy dogs or wanting to bring dogs out for therapy like visits. That is something we are not typically able